Hey friends, Diane here. It is so amazing when we take a moment to see God's hand in our lives, especially when we are desperate for His help. The story Mr. Licato shares in the beginning of chapter 8, called Fear Dethroned, is exactly one of those moments. It talks about God's amazing grace as He provided the way only He can. Please check out the great story. Then the author says that God will do the same for us, as he states, "You have His Spirit within you, heavenly hosts above you, Jesus Christ interceding for you. You have God's sufficient grace to sustain you." Then he points us towards St. Paul's thorn in his flesh. 3 times he prayed for God to take it away, yet God told him that His grace was sufficient. You see, there is saving grace, then there is sustaining grace. Mr. Licato says, saving grace saves us from our sins. Sustaining grace meets us at our point of need and equips us with courage, wisdom, and strength. Sustaining grace promises not the absence of struggle, but the presence of God. And with God, there is nothing we can't endure. It is because of God's sustaining grace that we do not need to fear. God will meet every need as we simply trust Him to do so. We can never exhaust His grace, for it is as endless as His love. Listen to Mr. Licato's words and please take them into your heart. Watch an ocean wave crash against the beach. Will there never be another one? Of course there will be. No sooner will one wave crash into the sand than another appears, then another, then another. This is a picture of God's sufficient grace. Grace is simply another word for God's tumbling, rumbling reservoir of strength and protection. We can plunge into God's grace and never find its limits. So be assured, God will make sure we can endure whatever comes our way. Know that when we are most desperate for His grace is when we are most aware that it is always with us, because He is always with us. More tomorrow. See you then.